First of all, like, when we say online teaching, it has become a kind of, they call it as new normal or whatever be that. It has become the, you know, um, the event of the day, like, for everyone. Now, as a teacher, like, with this COVID-19, still, like, even in Chennai, there are still more kind of lockdowns are expected more. Okay. So we are going to continue on this mode for some more time. So I felt like this will be the right time, like when Aishwarya expressed that we could do this session. It'll be really good for, to share my thoughts as well as also learn from you also. If you have got some, something good about this, we can share our experience on this platform. So to begin with, like, where do we begin with? All right, like, let's get started here. What we do, like, we may have to, we are in a position to select various communication and meeting platforms. The reason I stress on communication and meeting is because many of our children have special needs. It can be in mobility, or it can be in, kind of a orientation towards a 6-inch screen, or it can be a 14-inch screen, or it can be, a 15.6-inch screen, or it can be a 21-inch screen monitor. Still late, probably like before this COVID-19 pandemic, like, they should have come to a special school or inclusive school, and they should have given a, be given a chance to see the teacher and their friends and everything in a bigger room size. Correct. Now we are trying to restrict them into a smaller size screen now. Okay, we are trying to restrict them into a smaller size screen now. Okay, there is one reason, like, the attention focus, okay, all that. We're literally trying to make it into a lens wherein, like, you show them everything within this particular screen, and we are expecting them to learn everything. So the first thing what we need to think about is like choosing the right platform according to the child's environment. Okay, there will be so many platforms, like it can be Google Meet, Zoom, or Skype, or Teams, or WebEx, or even WhatsApp also. Okay, but how is it suited to the child? Maybe, like, again, assistive technology as mobile or laptop. We always have this 3 A's, right? Like, first is availability, second is availability, and accessibility. So we may have to think about it, what best suits them. Okay, what best suits them. There is no other way. We cannot, make a parent or somebody in this particular time to go for a high expensive device, or how, high expensive things, which is really, not that advisable also. Okay, there are so much of other priorities now, right? But at the same time, the child shouldn't learn that continuity in learning. So what best we can do? So we have to think about the platforms what we are going to take. Okay, think about the accessibility in the platforms, particularly when you think about Google Meet. Yes, if you're going to go for a bigger webinar session or something like that, or a big group session, Google Meet, yeah, you can go it. And it does have a kind of, the closed captioning. If the child is not able to understand very clearly due to some signal issue, there is a closed captioning option there, where whatever you talk, okay, particularly comes good in English, but in other languages we have to think about it. Okay, and the disadvantage is, like, unless you have a good Google account, you'll not be able to record it there. Okay, you don't have an official account, then you'll not be able to record it there. Similarly, if you take Zoom, it is more accessible. It is very much keyboard accessible. Okay, like, Zoom also, Google Meet also, but Zoom is bit more keyboard accessible, they say it. And it also has transcription. It also has, this chatbot option, and no annotation, so many things, whiteboard, all these features. So we have to think upon, like, it's more lightweight also. We have to think about it actually. And when you go for Skype, many may be using Skype previously. Okay, so it is easy to adapt. It is easy to create a group chat instantly and work on it, right? Teams again has so much of features, but it's a bit more kind of, you should have a good Microsoft account, for continued use. Okay, and it is a bit more resourceful. You should have a good, machine capacity for it. You should have a good RAM capacity. Okay, and the other end also should have a good RAM capacity. Also think about the video options, like blocking the background options, Okay, all that, think about this. Cisco, again, it's a more secure application. WhatsApp, you know that video calling is available. Okay, but again, like it's very lightweight. Okay, think about it like, when you want to make more video calls or something like that, not more organized sessions. Okay, so think about various communication and platform channels which can provide the accessibility to your students' characteristics. I'll tell you, when you say students' characteristics, it can be sensory, it can be kind of an access-oriented thing. Like I may have some muscle spasm, right? I may have some limited fine motor skills. Okay, or probably I may have some issues in my hearing or no seeing, right? Or attention span. All that has to be considered, right? But I do have some suggestions how we can at least improve the screen size and all that. We'll come to that at the last point. Similarly, like whatever you do, the first before even having planning this session, talk to the parents, talk to the siblings, kind of make a orientation. And these are the platforms we are considering. These are all something which we want to do. So can we have a small orientation on that? Okay, what are the applications you're going to use? You may use Word, you may use Edge, you may use Chrome. So what may be small shortcuts which you will be using, and how will you magnify your screen sometime? Okay, all that, so that they will be there at times that the child is finding it very difficult to do some troubleshooting. They'll be there. In case the child is going to use some assistive technology, for example, it can be a screen reader for a child with visual impairment. Sometimes it can be an amplification app for somebody with hearing impairment and hearing aid, right? Or sometimes, like a child with reading difficulty may amplify the content and show that, or you may highlight the content and show that. You'll use a different application which will be screen chat. All this, suddenly if it doesn't work, what will happen? So it will be better not to create a kind of an anxiety movement, but since you have very limited time frame, okay, very limited time frame for the session, so better we can involve the parents and siblings. Okay, and many times I even find the children are learning better and they teach parents when they when they take such meetings also. Okay, so we may have to think about this. Then set our expectations from us and child. Okay, what is a kind of a time frame we are going to deal with? How much of a time we are going to deal with? And what is the kind of a content we are going to deal with? Okay, and do we have all our resources in hand? If we are planning some online material to be shown, do we have everything in hand? And after the session, like how if we are going to distribute something, do we have everything in hand? And inform the child before that. Okay, inform the child before that. The session, let it start with an introduction about whatever you are planning to do it today, and then continue on that. I'll tell you why this is required in the next sessions, in the next slides. And best practices for participation, yes, we all do that. Okay, as I should was saying, like how to mute or how to switch on your video, how to do a screen sharing. Okay, all the other things, like technologically. At the same time, like if you have a group session, give equal participation to all and allow them to do some kind of a creativity, something, or contribute to the session also equally. Okay, and also, like signaling back to you whether you are audible, or do they have any kind of a clarification to be done. Okay, all that. And let us not do any kind of a multitasking. Let us focus on a single activity. Okay, it will be good because this is an online session, and you may have to control one-to-one or probably more than that, but still the focus has to be on the child and the child has to focus on you. So probably it will be good to take one task at the time. Okay, and make it into a sequential learning process. Then after that, like distribution of content in whatever be the mode in which the child can consume. It can be an audio or it can be a PowerPoint. If you make a PowerPoint, make it as a PDF so that it will open up in even a browser even. Okay, so that way you can do. Suppose if you have a video in that, yes, make it as a PowerPoint, can be made as a MP4 video also now. Okay, you can make it as a video, add a voiceover into that. Okay, all that can be done. Similarly, like during the session as well as after that, okay, ensure that the communication keeps flowing. Okay, the lesson is done, then probably like until next session, what can be the kind of a small assessments for his daily learning can be done, and know how this communication can be kept, as well as like even when you do such kind of an assessment, what can be the reasonable accommodations which can be given. For example, like it can be time, or it can be the mode in which you ask a question. It can be a multiple choice question, or it can be a video, you put it and then probably ask a question on that for comprehension. Okay, if the child is not able to read through paragraphs, okay, can you put a small video of it, tell that particular concept, and put a question like, okay, what is the character saying in this? Did you understand something on that? Okay, like that are key vocabulary words. This can be also an assessment with reasonable accommodation. Okay, so this assessment and procedures can be modified and innovated according to the child's requirement and need. Okay, so this is what setting up the platform, and then probably knowing what we do and how accommodative we can be there in an online teaching method. We can follow up all this. In spite of all this, yes, the slogan should be never give up. There may be challenges in networking, data connections, okay, due to size limitations of the screen, or probably like many times, like, the child may not be in a control of the device even. Okay, sometimes like, the phone calls come to you or the child, right? We cannot avoid all that. Sometimes we do have, sometimes forget that. Correct. So all this, there are challenges, but never give up. It's the only way out now. Now, when you do presentations, like, how can we make it more accessible? Many may be knowing it, but still I want to put it, probably like, present this particularly for the benefit of all. Okay. Ensure that whenever you do a presentation, it should be, something which can be magnified, okay, at any point of time in your own screen or in the child screen. And when you put an image or something, put it as a very quality image, so that also have that copyright or logo, whichever be that. Okay, since your content may now go somewhere, right, like online or anywhere. Okay, if you use it, like, use something which is publicly available. Okay, and ensure that if you have a child with sign language user, or somebody with a speech impairment, okay, ensure that you do in your videos more amount of kind of an acting, like make some gestures whenever you explain something more. Okay, and then like chunk your content into small pieces. Do use bullet points. Okay, do use bullet points, make it into smaller sentences. Generally 80 characters are the maximum kind of a limit, even for a upper primary level child. Imagine that when you do it for a smaller child, how much it should be. Okay, and present your content in a kind of a text and audio mix mode. We call it as DAISY, Digital Accessible Information System. Okay, I can give you the URL if you really like to know much more detail on that. And it can be EPUB format, because there are so many EPUB readers available. Okay, free EPUB readers. It can be used in your mobile phones or probably in your laptops. Okay, so try to give your even a small lesson, or 2 or 3 lessons combined. You can make a EPUB file, becomes a book like that. Okay, and it is easy to turn. It is easy to read. It is easy to magnify, and it can also read out in voice. It can be highlighted. All that has, EPUB 3 standard has all the facilities, so it can be used in the content. When you make it, like, it can be, if it is going to be a video, try to ensure that you can upload to YouTube Studio, and it is very easy to add a transcript there. Okay, so that at times when you talk something or the child is not able to understand, probably a text line as a kind of a closed captioning may make it very easily to understand. Okay, because in the flow, like when you make a video, at times your voice may go inside, at times your voice may come out, like even though you have a mic and all that. Sometimes due to the you may have shown an inner video in that, there may be some background noise, some background music or something like that. But if you have this captioning, like content through the YouTube Studio, when you upload it to YouTube Studio, you'll be able to add this transcript. Okay, that can be a separate session also on this. So when you add this transcript in local languages also, you can add it now. Okay, it can be added in English or in any local languages also. Okay, if you add that, your videos become more effective now for the children. Okay, and whenever you have a message, whenever you have an image in the content, it can be a Word document, it can be a PowerPoint or anything. Now try to add as much as captioning or something in the notes. Okay, about that particular image. Either it can be in the notes or it can be in the as an alternative text, so that children with screen readers will be happy to use it very easily through their screen reader. Okay, and if it is going to be a complex picture, try to add some captions in that. That will also help children. Okay, as an accessibility point of view. Also try to use as much as graphic organizers, and when you place content within backgrounds like tables and all that, ensure that the color contrast is accordingly done. Okay, as you have seen here, like the good examples are always like 70 percentage contrast to the background color. Okay, if it is going to be black, make it yellow or white. Orange, again, like black is fine. Okay, or like white is also fine, not any color, dark color. Similarly, blue or green background, white is fine. So accordingly you choose the colors in such a way that it has a 70% contrast on that. Okay, and always use a sans serif font, equal thickness font. Okay, so that even in a smaller device, the children doesn't have any difficulty in reading. For example, otherwise what will happen is this E may look like a C, the dot may not be visible to some children. Okay, it will confuse them bit. The style fonts, please avoid in using whenever you write regular content. Whenever you write content for small children, try to avoid using stylish scripts and all that. Try to use even thickness fonts, and probably there is a standard also, like if you are going to make it for a child with reading difficulty like dyslexia or low vision conditions, or even cortical visual impairment for cerebral palsy kind of a condition, then try to make it like in a slide minimum 12 points or probably 18 points. Okay, and when you make 12 points as a like paragraph text, then probably 16 will be your kind of a heading or a subheading you have. Similarly, when you make it for 18 points a text, make it 24 points. So you're going to give around 6 points as a kind of a difference between the both the headings as well as the text, so that the child will be able to easily identify this is heading, this is kind of a text. And structuring of the content also has to be considered. Okay, you try to use, if you are going to make it in Word, Word has the provision to use the style sheet, use the style sheets, make the content more structured, so that the child will be able to understand the headings, the paragraph text. Okay, and images, which has inline captions. All that can be possible in Word. Okay, and common font you can use is Verdana or Arial or Calibri if it is going to be upper primary level children. Okay, if it is going to be children with less cognitive difficulties, no, sorry, with cognitive difficulties or no lesser than fifth standard, try to use Comic Sans MS. Okay, because Comic Sans MS, if you see all your storybooks, it will be printed in this Comic Sans MS. The reason is like the characters are similar to what the child writes. Okay, that way. And try to underline anywhere. Okay, let us not do underlining, because in the digital content, if you have a line below, then it is considered as a link. Okay, in the standards, if you have underline anywhere, the child is taught by a computer instructor or somebody who is teaching a computer or a tablet. No, the underline will be a link. So let us not underline for the sake of showing it as a subheading or a text. Okay, and also like sometimes child find it difficult to read italics also. Okay, try to avoid that, and not to make all the letters capital, block capitals we call it, like the headings and all that. Try to use the first letter capital and the rest of the letters small in a word, even in a title or in a subheading or in a heading. That will give the child the emphasis for kind of their kind of a phoning and syllabi also, so that it will be easy for them to read it out. Okay, and whenever you want to emphasize something, try to give it in a bold color. or give it in a different color. Okay, again with contrast. Okay, color contrast has to be checked. So when you ensure all this kind of in your content, when you make a presentation, when you make a Word document, or when you make a even a a small pamphlet, everywhere, literally it becomes accessible for all. It becomes accessible for all. By this, the child will be able to be retained in a classroom. Otherwise, like even a small changes in this may he may not be understanding it. He may be having some sensory difficulties within this, and no, he may not be paying attention to your lesson. Okay, or she may want to have something when offline after the session. She may want to have something kind of a more information on your content, but that is not available there. Okay, there is not no the child has to again either message you or call you again, like it has to be responded back. But if you are busy in some other schedule, you already have another classes or anything going on, what will happen? The child has to wait, the interest goes off. So when you even start presenting something, if you are able to incorporate all this kind of an accessibility in the content, okay, then you really make it. You really make the child more attention focused now. Okay. Now let us go on to the next step. Fine. Online or digital classes, we are going to use either a computer, it can be a personal computer, or it can be a laptop or desktop, whatever be that. Okay. Windows 10 has become a kind of a standard platform now. When you buy a computer, from your hardware shop or anywhere, Windows 7 and even 8 has gone slowly up now. Okay, so now the latest operating systems comes are Windows 10 only. Okay, even if a parent buys or if you recommend a parent to buy a laptop or something, Windows 10 has a good kind of accessibility features which is incorporated. It is there in the settings. Okay, when you type in the word like Windows, when you press the Windows key in your keyboard, okay, your text box appears. Just type ease of access. Okay, ease of access, then that gives you all the kind of options available. You can make any kind of a content in the laptop, if it is a text spoken as a loud, read aloud. Okay, or you can magnify things. Okay, you can set this up and you can magnify things. Or if you want to change the color, black and white or anything according to the child, you'll be able to use this high contrast. And if you want to provide some kind of a closed captions in your videos, okay, which is already inbuilt, and you can do it using this closed caption. And keyboard has a variety of accessibility options for children who are struggling to use the keyboard. Yeah, please check that, like how is my interest today. Okay, that's a intent. It's a kind of a word which is buzzword now. Am I really intent to attend this session? There may be some kind of a kind of a so many things which is going on, but I am I really intending to attend this session? And many times I have to put this headphone on, like with this not a quality headphone. Also, I put it my into my earbuds. I may be having some earwax and all that. It will be paining me, but you'll be continuously taking for 1 hour or more, right? Or if you are able to break it into 20 minutes, 15 minutes, or give it like ask me to take out the earbuds and then like again put it like after 10 minutes. Okay, now ask me like tell me how, teach me how to clean this and keep it like very hygienic and all that before even like we begin our classrooms, right? It will be really good for me. Many times I have food and I come for the sessions, I may have some kind of a bowel syndrome, I may have something not good in my stomach, right? But I have to be sitting in front of this small device and watching you for long. So can you check with me, before you start your sessions about all this, and then can we involve in the session? Similarly, like these sessions, we know that with the network connectivity, data connectivity, many people using internet at my home and all that, prepare for both live and offline in such a way that anything may not work at all the times, correct? So can we make it into small chunks in multi-mode? It can be an audio, it can be a video, or it can be a story, or you can give me even a do-it-yourself activity also, right? Of the whole topic, whatever you're trying to talk, can we make it into small chunks and give, like engage my brother and mother inside and tell like, you can do a do-it-yourself activity at home, right? Experiments at home. by which also I can learn some concepts, right? So can we do that? Can we prepare ourselves both live and offline? Okay. Similarly, finally, it can be a schedule. Again, now what is the kind of a schedule we have? Can we have some kind of a sessions mostly in the morning? Because afternoon maybe many are sleeping at my home, elder are sleeping at my home, and probably the mother and father have gone for a work. I am alone left at some time, correct? Or even in the morning also my brother is also taking a class, everybody are taking the class, but I require more attention, I require more focus to do your session, I require video to be switched on. So can we have a schedule or a morning which is really accommodating me, my attention, right? I might have taken some medications, I might have gone for a treatment or a therapy at times also. I might have gone for a therapy session before your session also, right? So can it be considered like I may be tired at that time, right? And also, can we talk openly about the questions? Like, can you ask some open questions and understand me more? Okay, understand me more as a child. Okay, like what is happening today and all that, by which you will know that whether this is the right schedule and whether it's a time for me to undergo the session. Yes, if it's all done, I'll be more attention, I'll be no more attentive to the class, I really enjoy the class, I really thank you. So this is what, probably we may have to think about it. These are all some facts. Really, this may be small facts. Okay, we may be very innovative like this teacher. Like if you see that it came in internet, Twitter, I do not know how many of you saw that. She had taken a kind of put all this efforts. Teachers are putting all the efforts, sincere efforts, innovative efforts. Okay, um, refrigerator, two boxes. Okay, and then making it into a transparent thing so that she puts a paper under beneath and she is writing to make it as an interactive tool. She doesn't have a laptop, but she is still innovative. She's able to deliver content to the child, right? So much of efforts we are taking in. At the same time, probably at the other end of the child, can we understand it more from them? So this may be an answer actually for making it more understanding and
Shankar sir,
making
Dr.
more
Sridhar
attentive
here.
focus. Yeah.
I would like to add a point when you said the last point. See, understanding the participants is very important. See, there are two possibilities. One, it's a group session, there are many kids. So, there
Mm.
what happens is if there is one child who is kind of finding it too high for him, the level of subject, then you have to ensure that there are simpler examples. And the
Mm.
opposite is also possible where some children they already know this topic, right?
Mm.
Even with special needs children, there are children who can do, for example, they already know addition, they're into multiplication.
Yeah.
So for all sorts of participants, the personalized content is required, and probably you might have to know your participant students and ensure
Mm.
that all sorts of content is available.
Yeah. Exactly. So I do have some certain things like this is about this attention focus. So can we also go to few more interactive tools also are available. Okay, one is Jamboard. Okay, Jamboard is a Google extension platform as well as an app which is available. Okay, the good option is here is you can bring in anything. You may have been when you are using whiteboard of MS Windows, I believe. Okay, even Zoom also has a whiteboard. The one good thing about this Jamboard is you can share the screen using the share button, so the child will be also on the same screen. Okay, the child will also be on the same screen. So whatever you do, the child will be also able to reciprocate. They will be able to act on the same screen what you are acting on that. Okay, it's very simple. Okay, we can have a demo of it, but I'm not sure whether we have a time. And if you are in a kind of a Google Meet or Zoom or anything, you can also simultaneously put a question on the chat and ask the child to answer, right? So it can be more interactive, as well as the child can also type it on the screen itself. The child can select, the child can move objects on the screen itself. So Jamboard is available both as a extension called jamboard.google.com. You should just, everybody with Android phone will be having a Google account, right? So you have to just type jamboard.google.com in a Chrome browser. This is available. Try this out. You can save it. You can share it with other teachers. Okay, whatever your content you are done. or whatever board you are doing with one child, that can be modified for another child. All that is possible. Try this out. Okay. And similarly, Jamboard is also available as an app also. Okay. In the interest of time, I'm just trying to move it to the next thing, but try this out. We can have a more clarified session also in future. Similarly, Word also, like many times it comes with a laptop, it comes with the mobile phone and all that. Okay, particularly in case if you are going to use a laptop, there are certain features available here. Okay, um, there are features for checking accessibility. There are features called immersive reader, by which you'll be able to make the child read line by line, read as per the syllabi. Okay, like whatever you want, you can just pinpoint that and make it read. You can make it highlighted and read. You can change your background. You can allow the child to edit, okay, with spelling and grammar if the child finds it difficult. Okay, so many options are available in Word. And to an extent, like if the child is more comfortable in a local language, she is good in reading a local language, she can even mark the English content or convert it into local content also. It is easy for a teacher on the floor to convert that into a translated content also, okay, into local language. So much of facilities are now available in MS Word. Please try this out. Okay. Similarly, like Dr. Sridhar is here of a gamified learning session. I think he will be sharing more light on that. The content is available, for all such kind of a life skill, or kind of a language skill, or improving the child's mathematical ability. Okay, so many is there. I believe he'll be taking us through that. And with all this, like, yeah, I may be as a child having some requirement for an assistive technology to interact with my mobile or a computer too. So there are a big range of assistive devices available for such interactions. It can start with the touch screen, it can start with a mouse stick, or it can be a headband, or it can be trackball kind of a mouses, which can be operated by finger, sound, or foot pedal, or it can be a simple stylus. Okay, or I can attach a mini keyboard. Okay, sitting in my wheelchair, even I can take classes, right? I can have a rugged keyboard like Clavi keyboard, or I can have a switch based access. Okay, so many are there. And there are also mounts by which I can attach to my bed wherever I am, or I can attach it to a table, or I can attach it to a wheelchair. Okay, according to the height and my kind of a uh, movement, fine motor I have, gross motor I have. This is possible. We can have a separate session on this assistive technology. There are so much available, particularly on the input access alone. What does it mean? Okay. Similarly, even as a software also it is available, installed within the desktop computer or within the mobile device itself. Okay, NVIDIA is one such a screen reader for laptops and desktops, wherein like any text can be read out as a voice. This will really help teacher to again and again say a particular word, or make the child read it until it goes inside more. Okay, as an auditory input. Okay, similarly, like I can make a child to speak and type. Okay, like change the voice into a text. This is also possible. Okay, to understand whether he is pronouncing it rightly or wrong. Okay, assessment can also be done in this way. And if you have fine or gross motor difficulty, I can use my head or any other part of my face to activate the mouse and move around. Okay, it is for desktop computers, like camera mouse is available, and Eva mouse is a facial mouse which is for mobile applications. And if you have any difficulty in typing, yes, on-screen keyboards are available. On-screen keyboard has a prediction mechanism also, so that the words are listed out. I don't have to type long words. Okay, precaution, consciousness, conspicuation. Okay, all that kind of long words with with very difficult spellings. I can just use a prediction, type it, and then learn what is the spelling. I can ask more questions. Okay. Similarly, it's available for with the Google input tools. It is available for languages also. It can be Hindi, Tamil, or any other language. And the same way, mobile does a Gboard. Gboard as an app, which if we install it, it gives different ways of input. It can be a kind of handwritten kind of an input, or it can be moving across the keyboard, or it can be like prediction input. So many facilities are there, even as an app also for me to interact in the classroom. So we should also think about this assistive technology also, when we do the online teaching and learning. It may be required.
Yeah.
And when you go on to projection, or no projecting it in a kind of making an online classroom or in a home environment, the child requires more of an attention and all that. Can we make this WhatsApp interaction even more interactive? Okay, like for example, I put a message, I do some more, just sending a message itself or just sending a video. Can we add more caption to that so that the child reacts to that? So by this, I am getting engagement from the child, correct? I'm putting some kind of a provocative kind of a question so that he comes back, and it becomes more participatory. It becomes more engaging with the children, correct? So can we do that kind of an assessment? This is possible. And there are now Android boxes which can make even like a old TV, or a smart kind of the LED TVs or anything into a system. Okay, after that, if it's just around 2,500 to 4,000 rupees, Android boxes are available. So with a mobile, even I don't have a laptop or a computer. From the mobile, I connect to my Android box and to a TV. I have a bigger screen now. So bigger screens gives you more an attention focus also, right? Instead of looking into a very small mobile screen, can I see it in a bigger screen now? So that will also help me, like see whatever the content you are presenting, whatever you want me to do, more visible, more clear on the thought, right? And there are also innovative products now, like if someone is affordable, there are handy projectors also available now. Okay, it's available in Amazon, wherein like from a mobile phone you can project it on a screen. This is possible. Or if you want, like yes, I am kind of the child is not that kind of an affordable or something like that, there are even cardboard based projections. Okay, it will magnify to 8 times bigger than the mobile device. This is also available, and that can be connected to your mobile device or to the child's mobile device through a OTG cable. Okay, and then probably it can also work as a projected thing in his own home or anywhere. This will also grab more attention on that, right? And as well, like there are apps called Miracast and screen sharing, which is default in Samsung mobiles and other Android. So all that can be really helpful, even to make a home environment into a bigger classroom environment, so that the childs get more an attention focus. So I really wish and thank the opportunity given, okay, to explore all this. Okay, probably it will be really much more supporting the children in this regard. So I think I have
So
come to my session. So probably Dr. Sridhar will be
I'll
continuing on
directly
the.
jump into a demo. Organizers, how much time do we have now?
So
Thank
you
you.
can go ahead. So thank you so much, Shankar sir, for your
Thank you.
session. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm just
Okay.
stopping my sharing.
Yes.
Yes.
Just a
Yes.
moment. I'll stop sharing.
Yes. Sir. Okay, so we will go ahead, sir. You please carry on. Sridhar
Yeah.
sir can
So
show us a little bit about it.
yeah, I'm Dr. Sridhar. So I'll talk about edqueries.com. But before that,
Sir, your video
I
is
just
not visible.
just a moment.
Yes.
Bandwidth concern. I had just now. Can you see me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So just to add to one point, if you are going to share an application, I'm just showing how in Zoom you can say share screen, and then while sharing, ensure that share sound is included. Especially when you're running a game or something which you want to share. This is in Zoom. This option is available. The small tick mark, please ensure that. Similarly, in Google Meet, the option to select when you're sharing your own screen with a video is this. In Google Chrome, if you're sharing, select this A tab option. They have mentioned that this is best, and there also they're given the tick mark. Ensure that it is already checked. Okay. Now coming to edqueries.com, and what is it? See, this is edqueries.com. Remember the spelling, it's Queries, edqueries.com. So what you have to do is you can go on top over here. I'll just show you again how I logged in. Go to edqueries.com. It works on every device. You just have to open the browser and type edqueries.com. Log in. To create your account, if you're coming first time, you can click Google, or you can create new account and fill the form. Only thing you have to remember is if you're clicking Google, immediately go select your email and then go back to your email, because you'll get a link over there. Then you'll be able to access the account. Many people, they click Google and select their email, but then don't go back to their email and check. So account creation becomes a problem. So if you have already created your account, you can select this option and you're logged in. So what I'm seeing here is my dashboard. I have logged in as a student and I'm seeing various courses over here. So various subjects are over here. So for example, if I want to see math. So now let us imagine the setting that similar account you as a teacher have got and you have logged in. You are doing a Zoom session. So what will you do? You will first open your Zoom, say share screen, just like I am sharing. And you will also remember to share sound, because the game sound should be heard by the student as well. So here, basically everything is interactive, and even fill in the blanks and everything, we are calling it as a game because children like that word itself. Game means the word itself means fun. So the whole idea is there is a library of content over here in EdQueries in various topics. Library means that we don't know which kind of student is there at the other end, what special needs the child may have, or what special interests or their own hobbies or likes and dislikes. Everybody is a human being with various likes and dislikes. So this is a platform which has got almost 1,000 odd different activities across subjects, so that you, before you prepare your session, can choose content. For example, today if I want to, I've already taken a lesson about money and currency and I'm teaching math. So after that, or even before that, to engage the child, because many a times what happens, children are not engaged. The moment they hear about school session, they don't even want to log in. So maybe you can say that today let us start with a small game. So here I have already played this game. So it says resume or restart. I'll click restart here.
In this game, listen carefully and add the money and give it to the shopkeeper.
I hope you're all able to hear the audio
3.
of the game itself.
3.
Yeah.
Yes, sir, it is audible.
So I'm dragging. The mere idea of dragging itself, children will see that movement and all that and get engaged. Now you'll also notice that the backgrounds are plain and simple, because we have considered that any background distractions are going to further challenge children with attention deficit. And a lot of children nowadays have this problem of getting distracted. So this is deliberately
3.
been done like that.
Good job.
And
You
let's
get a
see,
chocolate.
audio has been limited,
4.
visuals have been limited deliberately.
4.
The content has been created based on inputs from special educators.
Well done. You get a scale. 5.
Now I do the wrong answer.
5. Let's try the next one.
When
7.
they're wrong, they get the input. So the whole idea is that they keep playing the game,
7.
make mistakes. So obviously in this session, when I am sharing, the child can't play the game. You can ask them, which one do you think is 7? And also in some of our previous sessions that we have done with real students, teachers themselves can ask other questions. Have you seen this kind of note? Do you have this at home? What do you call? Is this a coin or a note? And things like that. And who is this on this photograph here on the note? So this gives you an opportunity to have additional interaction.
7.
So I have to give 7.
Good job. You get a pen. 8.
So I'll quickly finish this now.
Good job. You get a pencil box. 10. Good job. You get crayons.
So I got feedback about all this, and
You have
keep
reached
changing.
the end of
So
the game.
at the end of the game,
Congratulations.
you put this
You
percentage
passed.
above which the child is considered passed, and the system automatically says that he has completed this particular activity. You can again replay as many times as you want. There's no time limit for this. Deliberately, we have not put any time limit on any of our activities, because children tend to be under pressure. They will not be able to do it. Why I'm saying is, sometimes after you have completed, if the child also has an account, you can say do this again at home. So they can again play on their own. For that, the child needs to have their own login and account, and then they will play themselves. So this is one example. Now, the level of interaction and the type of game can vary. So because this is a library, we have considered different types of students. Some need more fun, so little more graphical. So it's all a balancing act when we are making games. How much of fun element should be there and how much of distraction should be there or not there. Rather, I would say when we are preparing these kinds of games,
Listen
we have to think.
carefully and touch the correct item to get a gem. If you collect 10 gems, you get a treasure chest.
So here they are hunting for a
Hi.
treasure.
Choose the character you want to be. Listen carefully and touch the correct object to get a gem.
So what I was saying,
Find the
that
triangle.
here we have to decide what not to add. So we have been careful to select each element, the contrast and all that. And when we get feedback that something was not visible, something not working, we again build the game. So based on continuous feedback from our users, we keep improving, because when you've got a diverse set of users, you have to be aware of their needs.
Find the triangle.
That's right. You get a gem.
So here this fun element has been added just because they like seeing that boy going on the bike.
Find the
Girl, she is
square.
the girl character.
That's right. You get a gem.
So like this game continues. So it's more of a treasure.
Find the pentagon.
In English, for example, if you want to do sight word sentences, so you have started at the level of alphabets, letters, sight words, vocabulary. So you can explore later. There's a lot to explore. So here, this is sight word sentences. So what we also do is in most of our games, wherever you touch it speaks out. So because there are early users who need a lot of audio support.
In this game, read the question, then drag the answer to fill the blank. You may touch the sentence to hear it. Then click submit.
So the first screen shows visually also with an animation as to what is to be done. So even if the
Answer.
children don't understand the audio instructions or the language, just by seeing what is the action to be done, they figure out. So we have seen even with the children who don't understand English, and many of them we have dealt with do not have English as their language, or so they simply see that and they figure out what is to be done. So over time, as you continuously use this, within few weeks, you will see that the children are figuring out. Actually, day before yesterday, I got a feedback that one child who was actually taking others' help for using a computer has now figured out how to use computers because she is so motivated to play these games.
I can see dash bus.
So these options have order.
I and the.
So for teachers, the library of content is useful because they don't have to sit and draw and animate. They're not professional designers. So that's not their job.
Good
They
job.
should have ready content which they can use.
Answer. The and I. The.
And this is the font which sir was talking about.
Dash,
You see, this is
blue
the kind
car.
of A that children know how to write. Not the normal A which the Word document or others which you see, there's a curl on top.
The.
Excellent.
Answer. The. I.
So again,
Good job.
if you go wrong, it will guide you. So
Answer.
the whole idea is that they play the game, they make mistakes, and during the mistakes, we
And.
get an opportunity to teach them. Directly, if we say it is teaching, they may have some,
The.
lack of
And.
intent in joining.
And.
And this is an add-on to what the teacher has already taught. So this is a reinforcement.
The sky is blue.
Okay.
Answer.
So various other courses, we have recently introduced Hindi, science. So this all inputs came around the NIOS OBE level, so that science we've added. I'll show a few more. Due to the paucity of time, we'll just quickly see a few. So again, we have started shopping. So since we also dealt with a lot of adults who are getting into pre-vocational skills and numeracy skills. So there are some listen and learn activities which are not games, but a simple small lecture. And you can, in the browser, you can go into full screen mode if you want more space, less scrolling.
Read the question and choose the correct picture.
Wherever possible, we are trying to Indianize the content.
Then click Submit.
Indianize meaning put Indian
Select.
pictures, Indian language. So if you see a typical shop that you have,
Where do you buy? Where do you buy X from?
when I
Where do you buy X from?
it
Excellent.
speaks out again.
Select.
And sometimes deliberately the games are made simple so that we want the child to win. So it motivates them to keep coming back. It should not be too difficult. It should not be too easy. So we keep giving them sometimes games. So for example, here people often ask me, there are only two choices. What if they deliberate? I mean, just by chance they pick up.
Where
It's fine, but at least they have come here and they've seen the content.
Good job.
select.
And
Well
all
done.
these courses
Select.
build up with slowly with simple levels and will become more complex. So based on your student, you can figure out what they will know and what they will
Good
not,
job.
and pick it up.
Select.
And when all this is going on, the capabilities available in the system to track the learning through a learning plan. So it is possible for a teacher to create a learning plan, guide the student, and track what all they have done so far. So for example, this student was given these activities and we are tracking that what all is done. And because it's an online live system, you can see what all has been done. When it was done, all those track record are available. Right? There are also simple puzzles, visual puzzles. In case they're just getting started, the simplest of jigsaws. Again, based on feedback, we try to simplify or add more. But the whole idea is that your screen time is being changed into an educational screen time. Screen time still
In
remains
this
valid
game,
and important. That
look at the image on top. Then assemble the
that's going to
jigsaw
make it
puzzle.
educational. So here the teacher can, before the session, select this.
Then
and
click
also tell them
Submit.
that if you have the account, go home.
Arrange the eagle.
Home, the mother or the parent can help them log in and play the same games. So this is a simple 4-piece jigsaw.
Excellent.
Arrange the sparrow.
There are others which focus on communication skills. One, for example, one feedback which comes is, can they read
In this
expressions?
game,
So we built
see the
this game.
picture, then touch the correct answer. Then click Submit.
So various expressions will
Answer.
come here to see. And
Very excited. Very frustrated. Very angry. How do they look in this picture?
so this is some sort of expression based. And again, in English, there are picture comprehensions, reading comprehension, WH questions, spellings. And even this we have changed so that if I find it fun, the more they complete, the higher this guy climbs. And when they complete all of them, he goes and gives a victorious symbol. So how do we keep them motivated is the whole idea here. And higher the motivation of the participating student, more likely that they will learn. And you can blend this learning with real world learning. So the parents, for example, one parent told me that in our measurement course,
Look
they
at this
actually
picture,
let
then
on
answer the
real,
question.
a tape and all that.
Then click Submit. Answer.
So they have to look
Where-
at the picture and figure out
Where
where
is
the man.
the man sitting? Next to a lake. In his house. In his car.
So if you feel that the audio is not required anymore, the child has come to a reading level, you can switch off in your device. The audio can be
Next to a
switched off.
lake. Good job. Answer. Select all the animals you can see in this picture. Cat. Frog. Fish. Cat. Frog.
If
Fish.
you see here, the first question was a single choice. This is a multiple choice.
Fish. Good job. Answer.
Again, based on demand from parents, some additional fun was added. So for example, this one. So here,
Stone to
so
help
in
the boy
case
jump.
you need any help related to this, you can contact this number through
Drag the next
WhatsApp or
stone.
call, or you can mail. So simply go to edqueries.com and start using. Everyone has a free trial anyway of 2 weeks. So just feel free to explore all the content.
Okay,
Any
sir.
help required while logging in, reach out.